Welcome to Mission Minute News. I'm Dominican Sister of Mission San Jose, Jean Harris. Brother Oscar exhibits art in Posados. Brother Oscar Melendrez, SVD, recently exhibited his artwork, part of an exhibition in the city of Posados, capital of the Argentine province of Misiones. The exhibition, which took place from March 5th to 10th, displayed 21 of Brother Oscar's works that were inspired by his years of missionary service in Zimbabwe. The artist describes his work as messages from God and his technique as creative, missionary, and ecological. Materials he uses include paper, magazines, and cork, carved, marbled, and burned. Brother Oscar himself was present during the exhibition to share his experiences, to invite attendees to reflect, and to encourage other artists. Responding to uptake in crime, Central Australia. Faith communities are working with local elders to respond in practical and spiritual ways to the growing youth street crime crisis in the Central Australian city of Alice Springs. Father Prakash Menezes, SVD, pastor of Our Lady of the Sacred Heart Parish in Alice Springs, says the first step in responding to the situation is understanding the deep-seated social issues. Father Prakash with Father Alphonsus Nahak, SVD, of the Arente Catholic Chaplaincy, Darwin Bishop Charles Gauci, and SVD seminarian Xian Fernando attended a meeting with the local Uniting Church pastors and moderator for the Northern Territory Synod of the Uniting Church, in which they studied the situation. The latest police statistics show a dramatic spike in crime between 2021 and 2022. Assaults increased 51%, with 2,823 reported in a town of 26,000 population. Domestic violence-related assaults spiked even higher, up 65%. Alcohol-related assaults were up 68% at 1,886 reported instances of domestic violence and 1,521 assaults related to alcohol. Property damage was up 55%, and commercial break-ins were up 47%. Father Prakash said the faith leaders felt that the question of identity was at the core of the problem. Father Olivier Noclam, SVD of the Arente Catholic Chaplaincy, said that any response must include Aboriginal community leaders and focus on the family. Families are broken, and that is the root of the problem, he said. Father Prakash said one outcome of the meeting was a decision to form a faith communities task force to look at the possibility of restarting a drop-in center for young people. One had operated about a decade ago from the Uniting Church Hall in the middle of Alice Springs Central Mall. On another note, members of the Divine Word missionaries were strongly represented at a Mission One Heart, Many Voices conference in Sydney. Bishop Tim Norton, SVD, delivered a keynote presentation on truth-telling, synodality, and mission for a better world. Father Prakash Menezes, SVD, with parishioners and Arente elders Dolores Ferber and Paula Turner, presented the Catechist training program now underway in Central Australia. 55 years of SVD presence in Angola. In 1968, the parish mission of St. Teresa of the Child Jesus was entrusted to Divine Word missionaries with the collaboration of Holy Spirit missionary sisters. The parish, located in Kakulama, now counts 55 years of SVD leadership. Fathers Joachim Liu and Garcia de Sousa Kiangala serve the parish along with 3 Holy Spirit missionary sisters. Kakulama is located about 280 miles southeast of Angola's capital, Luanda. The parish has 42 communities, some of which are very remote, 8 pastoral zones, and 48 local catechists. In addition, it has several groups and pastoral commissions, most prominent among them the Legion of Mary, the Promotion of Angolan Women of the Catholic Church, a family group, a youth group, and a missionary team which organizes programs for these parish groups. Religious instruction for the children, teenagers, youth, and adults plays an essential role in the life of the mission, and each year there is an encouraging number of baptisms, first communions, confirmations, and marriages. International Women's Day celebrated. To commemorate International Women's Day on March 8, the Holy Ambassa Deanery organized a one-day seminar for women in Ambassa, Tripura, India. More than 90 women from 3 parishes in the Dalai district gathered at Holy Spirit Church for the Eucharist offered by Father Maxim Rodriguez, SVD, Regional Superior of the India Guwahati region. In his homily, he hailed the contribution of women to families, the church, and society. Afterward, the women gathered for classes and discussion. Speakers included 2 Holy Spirit missionary sisters and Mrs. Kimi Halam, president of the Ambassa Deanery. Father Ivan de Silva, SVD, pastor of Holy Spirit Church, shared his thoughts on the action plan developed during the discussions. He said, "When you are more spiritually oriented, you also need to be action-oriented. There are so many unpleasant things happening in our society. We need to be prepared to tackle them." Family evangelization in Hungary. Do you know that on the Feast of the Epiphany in Hungary, a priest goes to each house of the faithful and blesses their home? Holy Trinity Parish in Bixby, which is administered by Divine Word missionaries, carries out this tradition, shares Father Sudarman Aloysius Gonzaga. First, the parish priest and his assistant go to the families to bless them. As they enter the house, they greet and wish peace to the family members. They pray, offer their intentions and needs before the Lord, and ask for his blessing. After the prayer, the priest blesses the entire house. At the home's entrance, he writes, "Christus mansionem benedicat." After the blessing, the priest spends time with the family to share and listen to their experiences. The tradition of house blessing is an opportunity to get to know the families of our parish more closely. As Divine Word missionaries, we see this traditional house blessing as a platform for family evangelization. Sewing skills bring new hope. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed everything for everyone, including the people of Antigua and Barbuda. With tourism the main source of income on this small Caribbean island, the pandemic had a devastating impact on the economy. Already by June of 2020, the government was eager to reopen tourist facilities. But by and large, tourists were not ready. In fact, years would pass before things could get back to normal. As the government started to shift from immediate crisis management to recovery efforts, various issues emerged, one being the increasing loss of jobs. something especially hard for immigrant Hispanic families who often work under temporary contracts. Recently, the government of Antigua decided not to give work permits to new immigrants, making things even harder for these families. Many, therefore, were struggling to adjust to their new lives in this country, shares Father Robert Ratajak, SVD. When the newly arrived expressed a desire to learn new skills as a way to connect in their community, Father Robert did some research and discovered sewing as an income source for the people, as well as a way to make their own clothes. The response to his offer of sewing classes has been overwhelming, giving him and the people great joy. Women gather every week at the Hispanic Catholic Center with their sewing machines and fabrics. The atmosphere is electric. The ladies chat and help one another. Many also carry the burden of a part-time job and a family care, but they persevere, fueled by their passion for sewing and their success. The Hispanic pastoral team is proving that with hard work, determination, and mutual support, anything is possible. By launching and expanding this project, Father Robert hopes to provide a welcoming and supportive space for people to learn and grow and build a stronger, more connected community. International Scientific Conference in Nitra. At the Missionary House of the Mother of God in Nitra, Slovakia, May 2nd, 2023, an international scientific conference gathered to mark 100 years since the arrival of the Society of the Divine Word in Czechoslovakia. Organized in collaboration with the Roman Catholic Cyril Methodological Theological Faculty of Comenius University in Bratislava, the conference began with a Eucharistic celebration led by the Bishop of Nitra, Monsignor William Judak. Auxiliary Bishop of Bratislava, Joseph Halko, gave the homily. The conference attempted to highlight the contributions made by Divine Word missionaries individually and collectively to the environment of today's Slovak and Czech Republic. Spirituality Network team meets in style. From February 15th through 28th this year in Style, Holland, the first meeting of the extended team of the Arnold Janssen Spirituality Network took place to renew the spiritual dimension of the Arnoldus family. Building on decisions from previous general chapters, the team took the following steps. An international core team is appointed, made up of 2 SSPS sisters, Maria Cristina Avalos and Teresa Sri Wayuni, and 2 members of the SVD, Fathers Peter Dusica and Dennis Manzana. There already exist coordinators for a zonal for SVD and a continental for SSPS. They, together with the central team, become part of the extended spirituality team. 2 general counselors also participated in the meeting. Sister Creti Soledad Sanhuesa Vidal and Father Eric Copa. Objectives proposed for the first meeting of the team were: build rapport to establish effective teamwork and collaboration, share experiences and concerns from respective continents and zones, reflect together on how to promote and develop a contemporary and contextualized Arnold Janssen spirituality, discuss the draft of the statutes in the network handbook, start developing a 3-year plan for the network. The participants concretized the objectives and managed to work on the drafting of an ad experimentum manual and an initial outline of the 3-year plan. Meetings will continue online several times a year. The conference concluded with 4 days of joint work with the Resource Committee for Interculturality, with much more to come, carrying out various training programs. Ongoing efforts will require the following attitudes: be contemplative, continually discerning and giving joyful and prophetic witness to the gospel. Have a missionary heart, and be creative. If you have a comment or question about any of our stories, please email us at missionminutenews@wordnet.tv. You can also post your comments below each video on our YouTube. We promise to respond. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon. Share with others about the channel and the variety of programs you enjoy there. Please join us every Wednesday for the online Eucharist and Adoration and Benediction of the Blessed Sacrament, starting at 11 a.m. Pacific Time. You can always catch it later on YouTube if that's not a good time for you. Also, send us your prayer requests or intentions for Eucharist by contacting us by phone at 909-383-4333 or send an email to mail@wordnet.tv. This is Mission Minute News. Until we meet again, stay safe and well, and may Jesus' love for you make you smile.